What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tony D2 Wild checking in once again, back with the bang of the day, guys. And today, guys, we have the 1,000-round review of the Century Arms AP5. Now, guys, the AP5 is one of the first guns that I reviewed on this channel, and it's been quite some time since I've updated y'all on that because there's been a lot of things I've been doing to actually update the gun. And you guys may or may not remember that when I initially talked about this gun, I was having a lot of failures to eject, and I noticed a lot of people had that same sort of problem as well. And I actually want to do like a full-on, setup video and all that down the line, but we'll still kind of get to that now in this video and talk about everything that comes with it and what's on it, because I'm really not done with this gun. I want to do more with this gun, and this gun has since then SBR'd, so eventually I'm going to take the brace off and put on a stock as well. And of course, I'm waiting on my suppressor, which would come maybe within a month or two. But since then, failure to ejects were one of the main issues with this gun, and it's been an issue for a lot of other people out there. And one of the main reasons, because it needs a break-in. I believe that it stated it needs a 500-round break-in, which I went through at the time, and once was able to get through that break-in, I stopped having a lot of the troubles. However, I still had it here and there, depending on the ammo that was used. However, when I was using Winchester 124 plus P white box, I was having nearly, I think I only had 2 failure to eject during that time. So I went out, bought, I think 500 rounds of it, shot 500 rounds through it, had no issue. Then I went over to, I think, like regular Winchester and silver bullets and all sorts of other ammos, which I was having here and there a little bit of ejection issues going in, stovepipes and all that. One of the main issues of this gun is it just likes certain type of ammo. Hot ammo plus P was what it preferred and had very few to, I don't even believe, like I said, 2 ejection issues at the time. But once I got past 500 rounds, I didn't have any whatsoever. And since then, though, I've made some slight changes, one specifically to the actual bolt of the gun. I have since then switched out the regular AP5 or MP5 bolt for what is called the Mad bolt. You can see it right literally in there. The bolt used, I'll show a picture of it. The Mad bolt, though, is different than the typical AP5 bolt used because the Mad bolt never needs a new extraction spring, from what it's been stated at least. Like, usually when it comes to an AP5, you have an extractor, the little spring or little coil that goes on, and I think it breaks around, they've said, from 5 to 15,000 rounds, and sometimes even before then. But the Mad bolt basically switches that to where you never need to go get a new extraction spring. However, I've seen some people who have had some issues with the Mad bolt where they had to get new springs and new units. However, that was like maybe 1 to 2 people out of everybody else never switching out the actual spring. So I switched out the bolt in the gun. I still have the bolt that it came with just in case. And once I switched that bolt out, the gun fed pretty much any ammo that I ran through it, from Dirty Wolf to very nice Winchester 124 plus P. So the bolt switch out was just kind of a decision I wanted to make because I wanted it to run flawless. I never wanted to have to worry about having to switch out springs on the gun. That was one of the biggest downfalls for the MP5 in the actual military back when it was being used and still used today. One of the main issues has always been the extraction springs breaking and having to be constantly replaced, when in service. So with that being said, that was replaced, removed. I put on this light, which is a trash light. This is like an Amazon cheapo light, which I'm gonna actually take off. I need to take this light off. It's just up there for decoration at the time. This is not a gun that I'm using for home defense or anything like that. It's a range fun toy because I like it, I love it. However, for home defense, there's something very simple that negates it for being something that I would want to use for home defense. And that's if, of course, if I'm shooting this gun, shooting, and I'm on my last round, I'm done. You got to take out the round. You got to pull this back, put a new magazine, and then slap it. That's a lot going on. To whereas a Scorpion, you shoot your last bolt, the bolt open happens, you take the mag out, you put it back in, and you press a button, and the next round is fed and you're right back into action. There's a lot that goes into that. Now, that's not to say that I would not do this as a self-defense, because it's very, very, very well capable of doing it. And it's definitely, in my opinion, one of the best smooth shooting guns out there. And I just love, this gun. I love shooting it. I have a Midwest Industries Handguard, which I might eventually swap out for a traditional AP5 or MP5, my bad, handguard, the thick chunky one. I have here on the top a Hollow Sun. This is the Hollow Sun 510C. It does not co-witness, unfortunately. There are mounts that you can buy that will allow you to co-witness with various other sights out there, which maybe down the road I would switch out, but I'm kind of happy with the Hollow Sun overall. You know, I don't have no issue with this sight on this gun whatsoever. It looks really good in my opinion. I want to go though with a stock, more than likely collapsible. You know, I do like the side folding. I do like the OG, just actual butt stock as well. It's something that I got to make a decision on down the road and, you know, figure out what I want to do. I've even thought about switching out the lowers, you know, and getting like the more safety SEF, you know, stocks or the Navy stocks, but I don't want to really mess with any of that right now, you know, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Of course, this one comes, and they sell ones now that don't even come with this. It comes like, there's core editions and all that don't come with it. But let me just take this off. Taking this off has always been like an issue for me. Not because it's hard to take off, but I forget, like, you have to push it in a certain direction. You got the flash hider, of course, and then you got the tip, which is a threaded. You take the muzzle, thread protector off, you can put on any type of muzzle out there. The tri-lug is definitely gonna be a plus for me because that's one of the ways I'm planning on, you know, putting my suppressor onto the barrel. So overall, man, this is definitely one of my favorite guns out there. Historical gun as far as if you're a Call of Duty player and anything like that. The folding stock, just putting this in the bag. Magazines, you got, you know, the straight mags, which I really want to get a straight mag down the road as well. I love this gun, and this is definitely probably the most smoothest shooting gun I have in my collection, you know, honestly. Or I would say at least sub gun in my collection. This is way smoother in my opinion than the Scorpion, even though I like the Scorpion a lot. The AKV, way more smoother than that as well. But this is a quick 1,000 round review. I have no issues with failure to feeds, no issues with the ammo. I will say a lot of that also was with the Mad Bolt, but I will say, if you're here asking questions about the break-in, just get the white Winchester 124 grain plus P and run 500 of that. 500, you gotta run the whole 500. That will give you a good break-in on this gun, and then you can start playing with other ammo out there. I ran 124 through that. I was not having an issue whatsoever on the bolt, but the reason why I bought this bolt is because it was going for $300, and I felt like in the future it's only gonna go up, and why not get a bolt for an AP5 that you could then, you know, never have to worry about an extraction issue whatsoever. Once I put that bolt in, which was a brand new bolt, there was no break-in period on that. I put in Wolf, shot it. Wolf is like my go-to to check and see, you feel me? I shot Wolf in it, and it fed, you know? So 1,000 round review of my AP5. Stay tuned, because like I said, I will have a full setup coming soon. I just want to give you guys this update because I got people been asking for a minute, so here it is, the AP5.